Well, I'd feel a lot better if the game itself was at Ford Field in Detroit. I mean, with Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Derrick Henry in the backfield, the Ravens might be maybe the best offense in the NFL. If you remember right, Baltimore beat Detroit. They put up 503 total yards. They beat us 38-6. That was 2 years ago. Okay. But don't forget, last week we put up 511 yards. Jared Goff threw for five touchdowns. 5 touchdowns and a 52-21 rout over the Chicago Bears. The Bears! The Chicago Bears last weekend. Like I said, the game is in Baltimore. I expect Baltimore to be rocking and rolling tonight, man. Game time at 6:15 our time on all your local ABC channels, cable, and it's on ESPN. Are we getting it on air still, or we're not going to get all the Monday night games this year on air? Okay, I remember when Monday Night Football started. On air was the only way to. Yeah, it was non-cable. No. We need Hutch to get some sacks today. Got one last week. First sack of the year last week. So, like I said, he looked tentative before week before last when they played Green Bay, but looked pretty good last week. Let's hope he has a good game tonight. Again, that's 6:15 our time here, Mountain Standard Time. The Detroit Red Wings play their first preseason game tomorrow night. Can you believe hockey is already here? All right, let's go Red Wings! Boom, 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 boom. Let's go Red Wings! I mean, come on, man. Hockey's already here. So, all right. Before we get any further this morning, please remember to give this podcast a big thumbs up. Give us a like, man. Give us the old like. No thumbs down like Caligula. Don't be getting all Caligula-like on me and stuff. Just a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And that way you'll be notified of any and all new content. And you'll have a chance to win fabulous prizes. We got any prizes to give away, Andy, this morning? We do not. Say what? Nobody's taken out the garbage yet? We'll dig through the garbage and see if we got any fabulous prizes to give away this morning. All right. And where is my prop? There we go. And remember, this morning's podcast is brought to you in part each and every Monday morning by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. They're locally owned, locally operated. It's really your only source for local news, available every Tuesday, Thursday, and the deluxe Sunday edition. Am I on the cover? No, I am not. But if I ever was, I'm going to buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, gonna see my smiley face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. Well, that bit never gets old, does it, Andy? It is. It's old. It's getting very old. Well, all you got to do is get a hold of them and put me on the cover. Then we won't sing Dr. Hook every Monday morning. Tell you what, Andy, what we're probably going to make is the back cover. Crime Stoppers, America's most wanted for a criminally insane podcast. Who do we got in the back over here? We got Gordon and Stephanie and another Stephanie and Julie Ann. All right, Great Falls Police Department, let's get on it. Let's arrest these people. Get arrested, throw them busted down on Bourbon Street. And we don't have a Bourbon Street? Well, where are they going to get busted at? Busted down on Central Avenue. Set up. All right. Good morning. It is Monday, September 22nd it's not cold, it's cool, it's not 60 yet, is it? Throw it up there. It is, okay, partly cloudy. It's going to be the pretty nice week, pretty nice day, fall-like today, but we're back into the 90s by midweek on Wednesday. I mean, what the heck, Andy? Summer is, they just keep us hanging on. Whoa. Like, yeah, summer's hanging on. All right. September 22nd. So it's time for, like, it's September, it means all Zeppelin all the time, right? All right, so what do we got here for Led Zeppelin trivia for September 22nd? On this day, on September 22nd, Led Zeppelin held their first press conference in the Orient before their five-show concert tour in Japan. It was what I'm reading here is one of the first tours by a band from the West, okay, in Japan. Today they had the press conference. It was a meet and greet with Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, John Bonham. They all sat down, meet the press. It was a tour promoting Led Zeppelin 4. Holy bum 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 bum. Been a long time since I rock and roll. Bum 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 bum. Been a long time since I did the stroll. Bum 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 bum. Oh, let me get it back. Let me get it back. Let me get it back, baby. Come on down. All right, Led Zeppelin 4. So they're promoting Led Zeppelin 4, the album that had Stairway on it, Black Dog, all that. And it's the first tour in Japan. Today they sat down this day, 1971. All right, good deal. Good Led Zeppelin trivia, huh? You know, hey, it's September, Andy. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. All right. All right. Where are we going to go? All right. Should we talk about the First Amendment? Should we? Well, we can. Because that's what the First Amendment, first of all, is all about. It's the freedom of speech without government reprisal. Okay? That's what the First Amendment's all about. Okay? So, yeah, we should talk about it because, first of all, we can. Second of all, we're in America. Well, I do a podcast. The reason I do a podcast is because I like to talk, okay? Kind of outgoing, kind of extroverted, kind of freedom of speech guy. I like talking to everybody. So we're going to talk about the First Amendment. So, what does Anyone, what do we got? Can you throw out the First Amendment? Am I going to read I'm not going to read the First Amendment. All right. Good, because I really didn't want to. All right. So, what does it say, though, exactly? Well, you can pretty much say what you want, okay? Unless those words could cause panic or death. Yeah. Right. If if you're, for an example, fire, 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 you're yelling fire in a theater, okay? You can't do that. You're going to cause rush, people are going to get trampled, people are going to get hurt. There's a good example of you can't say fire in a theater. Could I say I want people fired on air on this podcast? Of course I can. Okay? I could yell fire, fire, fire. See, nothing's happening. I'm not causing. It's the contents and what you say the words in. Can I yell fire in the studio? Yeah, I just did. Did it cause death and panic? Andy, are you okay? You're not dead? Okay, you're not panicking? All right. No one can hear us. We got the door closed. We got buffers under the door. So, right, we got that door closed. We got all the doors. Yeah. So, like I said, you can say, supposedly say, anything you want without government reprisal. Okay? So, I could voice opinions on this podcast. Okay? Without fear of government reprisals, apparently. But could there be other reprisals? Well, of course there could be. You could lose sponsors. You could do, what? Okay, let's go right into that. So what about Roseanne Barr, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert? Well, they said what they wanted, right? But the companies that they worked for didn't agree, okay? I've worked quite a bit over the years in the media, entertainment, journalism, whatever industry you want to label it in. Television, radio, live performances, print, on the internet. I'm right here, right now. Okay, so you know what? Swear on the radio and see if you don't get fired. Okay, go ahead. Try it. Try to say the 7 deadly words that George Carlin said that you can't say on TV and radio is actually true. You're not supposed to be saying, can I say those on my podcast? I shouldn't. Why? Well, you know what the 7 deadly words are. Piss, shit, fuck, cocksucker, motherfucker. You know what they are, okay? And if you say them on the radio, if I'm on the radio and say, hey, here's a motherfucking song that you haven't heard in a while, you can't say that. Okay, those are FCC regulations. FC regulations supersede freedom of press. Okay, but what about opinions? Or making fun of other people? Well, the media's been doing that since the beginning of media, hasn't it? I mean, come on. Parodies and all that, we've been doing that ever since there, opinion pieces and such make the reader or the viewer or the listener think or look at things another way of viewing things. Does that mean that you can say whatever you want without consequences? From your employer, not really. unless your employer says everything goes. Like, I'm sure Howard Stern's employer and a couple other talk radio said, yeah, whatever you want to say is fine with us. Okay, South Park's advertisers, they know what's coming when they see South Park, boom, right, exactly. Okay, so if your content is already risque and your advertisers know that, can your employer fire you for expressing your opinion? Yeah, if it violates standards. But no. What if your job is expressing your opinion? Podcasters don't report the news. I don't report the news every Monday morning. I interpret what's going on, spin it to my way of thinking, and then present it to you, just like I'm doing with this one. Okay? Okay, I'm not sitting here just reading off here's this what it says here or there, and we're going to read this. If I did that every Monday morning, you wouldn't watch because you could read, all right? Does everybody agree with me, Andy? No. From the messages and the emails that I've got over the years, it's a resounding no. People don't always agree with me, and people sometimes agree with me, and half the people do and half the people don't. And sometimes it's the different halves. I've done literally podcasts where the left has gotten on my case and the right agrees with me, and the next week the right's on my case and the left agrees with me. I mean, who knows? Like I said, I have sponsors, advertisers that could pull their ads if my ideas and values conflict with theirs. If I present their advertising and myself in a negative way, or that they can say, we don't like that. We've all seen what's happened with when celebrities or advertisers conflict with popular opinion. I mean, can you say Bud Light? All right. As far as Kimmel and Jimmy Kimmel and ABC and Disney, I've had a problem with ESPN and Disney long before the Jimmy Kimmel situation. I podcasted about those teabaggers now and again, and I don't like Disney, I don't like ESPN, I don't like ABC, I don't like the whole conglomerate, I don't like what they stand for. ESPN used to be a standalone company. It was bought by Disney, and the first thing Disney did, it fired Keith Olbermann, it fired Chris Berman, and they fired everybody, changed the format. The second thing that Disney did was they yanked all the bowl games. Okay, remember from Thanksgiving to New Year's, there was just bowl games on TV all the time. And they yanked every bowl game off television, off network television, off of public view television. They yanked the college playoffs off television, okay? And they took Monday Night Football. Like I asked earlier this morning, I said, does Monday Night Football all year long? Because it's not, okay? So that's the first thing. And the second thing that they did, they moved it all to pay subscription ESPN. That way you have to pay for the content that had been on, free TV for decades, okay? Then Disney and ESPN changed how their app worked. Okay, you get to download this ESPN app, and you can see all the games that are available on the ESPN app. So you think you'd download the app, and you'd get the games. which would be, but not so fast, cowboy. Once you download the games, then they pulled them all off TV, so now they're exclusive content. So now you got to subscribe. Okay, you got to subscribe to ESPN Plus, which is through the app, to be able to watch the games on the app. So you think once you pay the subscription fee, and you get all the app, but you get all the app payments paid, you got the app download, and you think you can watch the games, and you couldn't be more wrong. Okay, see, once you download the app and pay your subscription fee for the games, and then you got ESPN Plus, you get ready to go, then you start banging your tablet, your phone, you're like, why can't I watch the games? That's because you have to have a cable subscription. Now, nowhere it says on ESPN when you sign up to that that you have to have cable, but you have to have cable too. So on what planet is there an app made that says that we have to have cable too just to watch the app? Didn't I say earlier they were teabaggers? If you know, you know. There's some teabagging sons of beaches. Some beach somewhere. Can ESPN and Disney come after me, Andy? Can they? Can they? Come on! Come on, make my day! So you got to download the app, you got to pay for the subscription, and you got to pay for the cable. Let's go back to what teabaggers they are. Do you know that, and I've got friends that work in the cable business. I've had friends that have worked in the cable business, since cable was a thing. Okay, and all of these friends have told me the same exact thing, and a little research, you'll learn this too. Did you know that the ESPN, Disney, ABC bundle on your cable programming is approximately 38 to 42% of the whole title average cost of your cable bill? And oh yeah, did I fail to mention, you can't have cable without the ABC. You can't order basic cable and say, I don't want ABC, Disney, and ESPN. They're like, no, you have to. And by the way, it's 38 to 42% of your bills just for their programming. It's a damn monopoly. I'm telling you, Andy, it's a damn monopoly. I'm tired as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm telling you. For sports, they're what? Their closest competitor is Fox Sports. It's not bad, but I'm just amazed with ESPN. They infuriate me. You got to download their app, subscribe to call, and then pay another subscription fee to watch all the games. Heck, when I was a kid, Andy, we had football on all New Year's Day, Christmas Day. Didn't cost you a thing. Yeah, we had bowl games. They were on the TV. There were so many bowl games on TV. My mom and there's football on all the time. Can we watch Christmas Story or anything else? Everybody's like, no, man, it's the toilet bowl. It's, some colleges that we've never heard of that have 500 records that they finally got a bowl to find. We got to watch it. I am not exaggerating. This year, if you want to watch that New Year's Day bundle, The bowl package costs you about $130. Unless you're subscribed to the app on ESPN, then for ESPN Plus, it's another $75. It's a racket. It's just such a racket. And the ESPN, they just infuriate me. Disney, and what the heck does Disney have owning a sports channel? What? How did I get from Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, and Colin Kaepernick to those teabaggers at ESPN and Disney? Well, they fired Jimmy, and that was their right, okay? You know, his ratings were a little down, you know, but it's my opinion, Andy. It's my opinion that there were outside influences at play here. President Trump has on more than one occasion expressed his displeasure with mainstream media and has tweeted ad nauseum, hasn't he? Just tweeting all the time. Maybe tweeting about the removal of Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Saturday Night Live, The View, sportscaster Colin Cowherd. That's okay. The First Amendment allows those people to broadcast and have shows. But when the President of the United States appoints the chair of the FCC, and that chairperson applies pressure after the tweets to have people fired in the media, it's my opinion, and if that's the case, we no longer have a First Amendment. And I don't care if you like the shows or not. That's not the point. Okay. Oh, Saturday Night Live's not funny anymore. Who cares? Okay. The point is you can't apply pressure to have TV shows that you don't like yanked off the air just because you don't like them. How long has Saturday Night Live been making fun of the president? How long? Since the Not Ready for Primetime Players, their first inaugural show during the first season. Okay? That's how long Saturday Night Live's been doing it. But last week, President Trump took it a step further in saying that if a network, like NBC for instance, aired a program that made fun of him or the administration, like, let's say Saturday Night Live, for instance, then the whole network should be shut down. The whole network? What good is on NBC shows? Are there shows on NBC that I watch? I don't know what shows I watch on mainstream media right now. I know I do watch some shows during the week that are on ABC, NBC, and CBS. So I know the Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. So he's going to shut down the whole network because he doesn't like Saturday Night Live making fun of him. And Saturday Night Live's been making fun of presidents since its inception. And again, Andy, I don't care if you don't like the show. I don't care if it's not as popular and funny as it was when the Not Ready for Prime Time. That's not the point. The point is, can you apply pressure to have The View, Saturday Night Live, Colin Cowherd, the sportscaster, all these people removed because they're making light of the situation. Are you ready for state TV yet? Because that sounds like that's where we're headed. It's just state-ran TV. They take off NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. You'll miss a lot of sports. That's all gone. And what about General Hospital? What about General Hospital? So, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, freedom of broadcasting is, I think, Andy, everything's under fire. I think that times are, I think everything's under fire right now. And I don't care what it is. The people are divided on whatever issue. There's probably a big division on what I'm talking about. We should be taking all those shows down. Why? Why does half the people think that? What rational person would think that it is okay to start censoring programming? Because then it just, once you start, like I said, take off Saturday Night Live this week. Next week we take off Jimmy Fallon. Next week it's Monday Night Football. Next week it's General Hospital. When does it stop? I know, scary times out there. Dangerous times out there. Everybody's got to be aware of where you're at and what's going on and being safe. So, what? Put it in a nutshell, in my opinion, I don't think it's okay for the government to tell television or radio or movies what they can and can't do with their product, as long as it's not like yelling fire in a theater. And we just proved earlier today that you can yell fire in certain situations, and it's certainly absolutely okay and doesn't cause a threat or harm to anyone. So, I don't like freedom of speech being under fire. I don't like having to watch what I say. I don't like it. All right, Andy, what are we doing? That's it? All right then. All right. Everybody remember to spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer, donate, but hey. Adopt a shelter pet today. Until next Monday, have a great week.